Call to action. We have some CSS that we're using on this page for these sections. I'll briefly go over that now. So call to action 1 and 2, which is actually, if I move this here, you'll see this section here is call to action 1, action 2. This actual stripe here, become a super flyer, that's actually call to action number 4, which you don't see there. And that's on every interior page for this marketing site. So I just reuse that element, but that's actually call to action number 4. All right, so let's get into it here. So call to action 1 H3, call to action 2 H3, padding bottom 0 on the H3. Yeah, I didn't like, Divi was adding some padding for the H3 here. Let me see if I can pull it up and show you. H3, boom. I didn't like it, so I wanted to make it a little tighter. So yeah, and then we're telling the button to have certain margin on tablet, and then it's other widths, because I wanted the button to kind of stay in the middle of the section. And you'll see as we get down, it starts to, I wanted to keep the button with this text here. And so, and I might actually I'll probably adjust this value to get it more centered here. Like, let me see what it's doing. So we're saying ETV button margin top. We're saying it's a 50. I'm probably going to change that value to be more, probably around there, about 30. So I'll just go ahead and change that, and I'll update that on the site as well. But so now it's going to, down at that point, it's going to go to 30, and then eventually go to there. So that's nice because it's going to stay kind of centered on this section. So obviously, if you have more text, you're going to have to, if you want to keep this centered, and you have more text, you're going to have to adjust that value like I just had to do. And then out here, it's nice, and it stays nice and centered as well. So that's the first few lines there. Oh, and then we're just centering this text on tablet, right? Because I wanted these to be, instead of being left aligned, I wanted them to be centered. Otherwise, they'd be like, let's go ahead and see if I can find that. Oh, let's see what I'm targeting here. Targeting the BeSuperfly, the text module. Okay. This guy. There it is. So normally it'd be like that, and I just wanted them to be centered. So that's what these lines here are doing. Take away those lines, everything will be left aligned if you want that. All right, nothing for CTA 3. CTA 4 is this guy right here, right? Or this same thing down here. But I'll use this one because we can see it a little better. And the code we have here, this code here, this was before Divi's section link ability had come out. But I still like this better. I like this better because it's custom coded and have a little more control over it. Here's the background color. So right now we have it set to that brown on hover, or tan. That's where you could overwrite that hover color. So you'd overwrite the main color by just, in the module, you can change the black to whatever you want, and then here in the code, you just copy this guy or retype this guy and put your color in there. And left 8 pixels is for the icon for this little arrow. That's getting moved over on hover 8 pixels. And that is it for the CTAs.